This year, the classic American novel, The Great Gatsby, turns 100. Although the book is set in New York on Long Island, its characters are based on real people who once lived on the North Shore of Chicago. Lexi Suter explains.
The Great Gatsby was released in 1925, but it's taken decades for readers to realize it's not all fiction. The book is actually based on author F. Scott Fitzgerald's real-life experiences and his time visiting Lake Forest.
His exposure to sort of generational wealth, what we think of as sort of the standard wealthy family experience, comes out of his 2 years of visiting Lake Forest.
Exhibit inside this history center that makes the connection. Fitzgerald was known for keeping quite specific records of his life. And in those records, he writes about his longtime love, Ginevra King, a Lake Forester and socialite. She inspired The Great Gatsby's leading lady, Daisy Buchanan.
Do they miss me in Chicago?
Yes. At least a dozen people send their love.
The novel was also inspired by her friends, her home, and her parties.
For Fitzgerald, meeting these women, they are everything he wants to be. One of the things that's really important that Fitzgerald misses is he sees that he's not welcome into society, he believes, because he doesn't have money. What he doesn't understand are the limits the women have.
Excuse me. I will join you later.
The Great Gatsby is set in the Roaring '20s, a time of opulence, glamour, and high society. Fitzgerald writes of its perks and its problems, with his feelings of life on the periphery in Lake Forest weaved in.
It's a story about a story about a story about the ups and downs of the American dream.
Ron Grossman penned the 100-year anniversary article for the Chicago Tribune. He too recently made the connection, but says in hindsight, it was obvious. He spent 20 years teaching at Lake Forest College.
It just struck me as bingo. Why didn't I realize that all of these years the signs are just right there?
Is Lake Forest proud of this history? Is this something that you would like people to connect the dots, if you will?
Yes, I think that it's a really important part of reevaluating The Great Gatsby 100 years later and really looking at what is the truth behind what social life was like.
100 years later, the celebrated American novel is still read by millions. But only now do we know the ultra-luxurious lifestyles that Fitzgerald writes about are not tied to Long Island, but Lake Forest. Lexi Suter, NBC5 News.
All great things come through Chicago.
That's right. What a cool.
I did not know that.
Yeah. The one little mention in the book, and it's this whole thing.